Yo, what's good YouTube? Welcome back to the 32 team bracket. I believe this is episode 7 of the series. I honestly lost count. I've done this so many times. I've been milking this series like a cow, but it's bringing me views, so I can't stop now. We've done many things in the past. We've done alphabetical order, we've done no conferences, but this is one thing I've always wanted to do. And one thing I can mention real quick, today is Thanksgiving Day, or it's the 11th, 26th, it's actually more to nighttime now. And the reason why I'm doing another 32 team bracket is about a year ago, November 23rd, 2019, basically the 1 year anniversary of the 32 team bracket. The first ever video I made on my channel was the 32 team bracket, which is one of my most successful videos on the channel as well. You can watch the entire series, it's a lot of fun, and we're going to continue on with, I believe, the 7th edition to the 32 team bracket. Like I was saying, we've done many things. This time we're doing the randomized 32 bracket seeding using something we've used in the past, the spinner wheel. If you guys have watched the randomized quarterback and the randomized running back videos, you can see that, wide receiver. However, running back randomized would be kind of cool. You can see that I'm using a spinner wheel which has 32 different names on it. And the quarterback ones, of course, it was starting quarterbacks, wide receivers, starting wide receivers. But for this, it has every team name on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to spin the wheel. Whatever it lands on, we're going to do this 32 times. Whatever it lands on will be the seeding of that team into the bracket. The first spin we do will be number 1 seed. And the final seed we'll do, or final spin we'll do, will be the 32 seed. So let's start with our first seed. First spin. Let's go. Alright, for our first seed, who is it going to be? We take the first spin, and our number 1 seed in the bracket is going to be the Carolina Panthers. That means they will get home field advantage all the way to the Super Bowl if they make it. So our first number 1 seed, which I actually have to be writing down right now, is the Carolina Panthers. That is the number 1 seed. Our number 2 seed, they're going to be on the other side of the bracket. That is going to be, they're also going to get home field advantage the entire way through. That is going to be the Texans. The Houston Texans, really mediocre teams chosen as the number 1 and number 2 seed, which is kind of funny. And for our number 3 seed, this is going to be the Bills. I thought it was going to be the Jets for a second. That was kind of scary. The Jets definitely do not deserve that high of a seed, but it could happen. But the Bills, a well-deserving team for a high seed like that, they get the number 3 seed. They will be on the side of the Panthers. And who will be they'll be on the side of the Texans. Who will be the 4th seed? They will be on the side of the Panthers. That is going to be the Patriots. A really interesting top 4 seeds. So they own the first team and the last team in the bracket on both sides. The number 5 seed, they're going to be in the middle of the bracket somewhere. That is going to be the Raiders. We haven't really seen a dominant team chosen in the top seeds so far. And we got some pretty decent teams, but not any team that's, well known for being good. And speaking of a pretty decent team is Titans. I guess we did get the Bills for number 3 seed. Titans go to number 6 seed. Our number 7 seed, that is going to be the Saints, which actually makes some sense. Saints get a number 7 seed. That could be really helpful for their path to the 32 team Super Bowl. Our number 8 seed, that is going to be the Rams. That's pretty realistic too. They're pretty good. They're going to be up there. Number 9 seed, that's going to be, it's going to be the Dolphins. Yeah, the Dolphins. That's an interesting one, but hey, it can happen. Sorry if you hear a click. That's just my mouse clicking the wheel right there. And our number 10 seed, so we made it to top 10 seeds so far. We have some good teams left, and the Steelers, who are number 1 seed in the NFL right now, go down to 10, which I guess can work for them. It could be worse. Number 11, going past the top 10, we are going to start number 11 with the Dallas Cowboys, which definitely doesn't seem like they're top 11 after losing so bad the Thanksgiving night to Washington football team. Number 12 seed is going to be the Chicago Bears. Interesting. Still some good teams left that have not been chosen, which means they're going to have a lot of away games to play. Speaking of, the number 13 seed is going to be the Eagles. So that's a pretty sucky team in a pretty decent spot, if you can say. Our number 14 seed is going to be Washington football team. Speaking of them, they just beat Dallas in, I believe, the Thanksgiving game. So the 15 seed, that's going to be, we almost made it through 16 teams, half the league. 15 seed is going to be the the Detroit Lions. The number 16 seed is going to be, we made it like half the teams in the league. That's going to be Seattle Seahawks. So that's an interesting one. We'll see how that works out for the Seahawks. Number 17 seed, that is going to be the Jaguars, which is definitely not even close to that spot right now. This should probably be 31 if I'm being realistic to a real bracket. Well, actually, we'll do a real bracket at the end of the season. That'll be like the 32 team bracket. Number 18 seed will be the Atlanta Falcons. Number 19 incoming. We've already made it to almost 20. So our number 19 seed is going to be the Browns. Okay. Still some good teams left. We still have the Chiefs, Packers, Colts, Buccaneers. We have a lot of good teams left. Who's going to be at number 20? That's going to be speaking of the Bucks. So Tom Brady's going to be at number 20 seed. It's probably the highest ever been in his life in my simulation. Number 21. That is going to be the Cardinals. Pretty decent team. Are there any sucky teams that are still on this that I haven't thought of? I guess the Giants, the Broncos, the Chargers are still on it, so they could get a realistic spot, I mean, on this. 22, that's going to go to the Jets. That's, it's kind of better than what they're used to. It's 10 spots up from 32 at 22 for the Jets. So that works out for them. 23 is going to be the 49ers, which has been plagued by injury. Who knows? Maybe they can work something out with a lot of away games to go in this bracket. 24 is going to be the Indianapolis Colts. Now, I didn't think about this, but the 32 and the 31 seed, just to let you know, they're going to play the Panthers and the Texans, so we're probably going to see an upset there, to be honest. It depends on what gets chosen at that point. Picking, what I said. 25 is going to be the Broncos, which is, that makes sense. 26 seed, we're almost getting to the end. Who's going to be the final seed is what we're going to figure out soon. 26 is going to be the Vikings, okay. Our 27 seed, we have the Packers and Chiefs still up there, and the Colts, and the Ravens. But the Bengals will get chosen at 27, meaning we have really good teams that are going to be the final seed. I think the only bad team up here is the Chargers, and I can't tell who that white team is right there. I think that is the Chiefs. So we have some good selection. Oh, it's the Giants. And speaking of the Giants, they're going to be at 28. So our final 4 seeds are going to be between the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Packers, and the Ravens, which are pretty good teams, minus the Chargers. So who is going to be 29, the 29th seed in the bracket? That is going to be the Ravens. So who's going to be at 30, dead on 30, could be Packers, Chiefs, or Chargers. That's going to be the Packers. Packers will make it to the 30 seed, which is, it's definitely not close to the range at all. Speaking of not close to the range at all, the Chiefs are still left. And speaking of, the Chiefs will get the 32 seed in our 32 team bracket, which is kind of funny considering I feel like that's actually punishment for the Chiefs because they're always good in these. However, in the Chiefs' case, they have to play the Panthers first round, and that's probably going to go in their favor. So I have every seed. I'm going to build the bracket. I'll get back to you when I finish this, and I'll see you guys in a second. Get the bracket built. Let's go. Alright, so the randomized spinner has given us all 32 teams and their correct seeding based off, of course, the randomized spinner wheel. And you can see on the left side of the matchup, or left side of the bracket, we'll start with our matchups. We have Panthers versus Chiefs. Chiefs got 32 seed. Panthers got 1 seed, following by Seahawks, Jaguars, Dolphins, Colts, Rams, Broncos, Patriots, Ravens, Eagles, Bucks, Bears, Cardinals, and Raiders, Giants. And on the right side, our number 2 seed Texans versus Chargers, Lions, Falcons, Steelers, Niners, Saints, Vikings, Bills, Packers, Washington versus Browns, Cowboys, Jets, and Titans, and Bengals. So those are our 32 teams and our 16 matchups. So of course, we'll start with the left side. Our first game is the number 32 Chiefs versus the number 1 Panthers. We'll probably see an upset here. Who knows? Going to Carolina. Let's go. Well, don't count the Panthers out quite yet. The number 1 seed, which I actually imagined they would lose this game, considering the Chiefs got unlucky in the 32 seed. A lot from Bridgewater is going to go up for a receiver. This one's knocked out with the defense of the Chiefs. Teddy Bridgewater, 2 picks in the day, 240 yards, not a passing touchdown. Guessing Christian McCaffrey's running the score on the board for the Panthers with 14 points, probably 2 touchdowns. But we're down to a minute and 14 seconds left, second down and 10. It's still possible, but very unlikely for the Panthers to make something here. Lines up again for repeat down, second down and 10. Of course, they're really far back in their own territory at the 20-yard line, and they have about 70-ish, 80-ish yards to go to tie this game up. Of course, extra point is needed. So Bridgewater's just going to take some time in this pocket, and he's just going to throw this one to open field. That's probably to Samuel. That's going up to the 48-yard line about. Time is running, though, and 1 minute down. No timeouts in the clock, so the Panthers are just going to get up and look for a play again. Of course, they can throw this one deep. Curtis Samuel, 7 reps with 94 yards, and that's Matthew taking him down right there. Bridgewater just scrambles out, throws this one across field on his arm. So no huddle called, 45 seconds left, about 20 seconds wasted lining up for that one, getting the 40-yard gain almost, and Bridgewater's going to take off again. Here comes a flag, though. This is going to be a complete with the toe tap. However, we got to look at the flag, though. It's around the 25-yard line, and this flag is going to be on the offense. That's most like a holding call. Did not hear it. Yes, it is. That's a holding. That's big. Holding, 10-yard penalty. And that's going to take you back 10 more yards. So first and 20, time stops, 39 seconds now, and they're going to repeat that, hopefully looking for a completion once again with Bridgewater and the catch, which was a pretty good catch, but of course taken back with the holding penalty. Alright, so now they line up back in their own territory once again, considering the holding has pushed them back 10 yards more. And now it's first down and 20 with 38 seconds left. Bridgewater's going to scan the field, and he's just going to throw this one deep, hoping someone's out there. And this one's going to be picked. And there you go. That's how the Chiefs win game number 1. So 32 seed is moving on, and that is Ward coming in with a pick. 21-14. They'll take Patrick Mahomes out there for one snap, get the knee down, and the Chiefs are moving on as a 32 seed, and down goes the number 1 seed. Well, I mean, that's what we expected, isn't it? All right, our next game, Seahawks, and I believe it's the Jaguars. Yes. The Jaguars are down by 10 points. I believe they are in Seahawks territory, and I believe they actually are in the red zone. So they could get a touchdown here, and they could also go for a onside kick. Yes, they are in the red zone. Actually, matter of fact, they're inside the 10-yard line. So is that Mike Glennon starting is my guess. I believe it is. And down by 10 with 35 seconds left, this is just going to be thrown to the ground on second down and goal. He's actually not got a bad stat line. Just, I guess, his defense has not been able to keep up with Russell Wilson. We've seen the Seahawks defense play this year. I mean, they're really not that good. But compared to their offense, it's a different story. So the Jaguars, which, of course, not really a better team, you know, it's not surprised they can't score on the defense of the Seahawks anyways. But Mike Glennon, he's going to look for this touchdown pass, maybe, unless he's going to get sacked. And yet, that's exactly what happens when an unexperienced quarterback for the Jaguars comes in. And that's going to be a sack, which is just going to waste the entire time off the clock for the Seattle Seahawks. And the Seahawks are going to move on for probably the hardest matchup they'll ever play in the Sweet 16, which is versus the Chiefs, as time's going to get taken down. Reed coming out of nowhere, and looks like they might get one more play off. Maybe they can just get a miracle. Let's see. They're going to throw this one quick. Mike Glennon's looking up. He's backing up again. He airs this one to the left corner of the end zone, and this will be picked but out of bounds, which means we have 6 more seconds left, so we're still not done yet. Don't count out the odds yet. Of course, they just need a touchdown and a field goal, which, I mean, of course, the chances are low. Onside kick recovery as well with 6 seconds. Let's just see what happens here. Maybe they'll get style points on the board, but I don't believe they will win this. So, fourth down to goal for the Jaguars. Waiting for them to pick their play. Here they are, lining up again. Probably the final play of the game. Maybe he'll get sacked. Maybe they get a touchdown. We'll see. So Mike Glennon going to snap this one now. 6 seconds down. Just going to throw this one quick. And yep, this one will be picked. And maybe he'll return it. Maybe he'll just want those extra style points that I was talking about, except for the other team. And that's exactly what's going to happen. As Seattle Seahawks going to get some garbage time points on the board. Pick 6 to the house. And that's a 30-14 game. So the Seahawks have win in their first round versus the Jaguars. Of course, the seeding does not really help out for the Jaguars there. But now the Seahawks have to move on and play the Chiefs next round, which will be tough. Alright, let's move on to our next matchup. Okay, here we are in Miami. The 9-seed Colts, I believe. The 24-seeded Dolphins. It could be flipped. I don't really remember, to be honest. But these are two pretty decent AFC teams currently in real life. The Colts being, I believe, 8-4. Matter of fact, I think they're both 8-4. So, you know, they're pretty decent teams, and I expected a pretty good matchup. But I decided to put on blue helmets for the Colts because I thought that looked cool. You know, if you guys see my uniform ranking video, I kind of bashed on the Colts. I'll put them on last, by the way. It's not because they're bad unis. It's just because they're kind of plain. And a 2-minute warning is called here. Did not notice that. But yeah, 31-23 is the score. And I'll get back to you when we get our snap done. Phillip Rivers drops back, and I'll throw this one for a short route. That's going to gain up to the 50-yard line in the middle of the Dolphins logo. As Tom's going to take down. It's a 6-yard gain for Phillip Rivers. 457 total yards in the day for Indianapolis, with 85 of those being rushing. So a big passing threat today for the Colts over the Miami Dolphins. But it hasn't been enough yet, considering they are down late in the fourth quarter with 1:39 left. 3 timeouts left for both teams. Not one has been called yet in the second half. Take the handoff for Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers is going to jump around the pocket, and he's just going to throw this one deep to a knockout. No one was there for it. One person was there, but mainly just the Blue Dolphins are there to cover it. So 3rd down and 4 now. Stops the clock, but now you got to get this big first down upcoming for Phillip Rivers and the Colts offense. So they stand right at the 50-yard line is where they're at, and they need 50 more, plus the 2-point conversion. They're going to throw this one quick, and no one's there for it. Phillip Rivers just kind of throws this one fast, and just didn't have the route ready for it. So now they're going to go for it on 4th down, and this could be game. However, there's still 3 timeouts for both teams, so don't call out anything yet. But now we've got to see if Florida's defense can keep up with the Colts. Colts defense is a pretty good defense as well. It could have been a pretty good defensive battle if these teams met in real life. I don't know if they do play in real life or not, but this could be a potential playoff matchup, which would be a pretty cool matchup to see. Maybe not in the first round, but maybe later on if both these teams somehow advance. Who knows? They're both pretty high-caliber AFC teams, so we could see them play in the AFC Championship or the AFC Divisional. So, speaking of Phillip Rivers' 4th down, he has to get this completion here, and this one's going to be hauled in around the 40-yard line, and I believe that's T.Y. Hilton that brings that one in. I still don't know if it's Ty Hilton or T.Y. Hilton. I think it's T.Y. Hilton, but that's going to be a good gain for about 7 or 8 yards, and that's a big gain actually considering it's needed for the first down. And now a minute's ticking on the clock, so no timeouts been called. Yeah, I guess he's trying to burn as much time as possible, and Ty just want to go to overtime. Phillip Rivers, look at the snap, we're now under a minute, and Phillip Rivers has the time in the pocket, only 4 rush for the Dolphins, but here comes the pressure, and the 5 guarding Phillip Rivers couldn't keep up with the Dolphins' 4 rush. And that's a sack, which means the timeout's going to be called. 4 sacks in the day for Miami, and that's definitely the biggest of the 4. As, look at this, all the time in the world for Phillip Rivers, but just decided to take a sack here. And that's the last thing you needed right there, considering the O-line just not able to hold up with 4 Dolphins. So no huddle, no timeouts called yet. Phillip Rivers is going to throw this one on a crossing route to, I believe that is Michael Pittman, and that's a timeout finally called for the Colts. So about time someone stopped the clock with 26 seconds left. Michael Pittman Jr., 6 wrecks and 53 yards on the game so far. Okay, Phillip Rivers lines up around the 40-yard line. They've only gained 10 yards, and this one's going to be picked. Yep, Phillip Rivers did not manage the ball that well this entire sequence, and that's going to be a pick 6, which means the Dolphins, just like the Seahawks, will add on to their lead with a pick 6. It's possibly one of the final plays of the game. There you go, the Miami Dolphins, the 24 seed, or actually, no, they are the 9 seed, considering we're at Miami. The Colts are the 24 seed. The 9 seed is moving on in the bracket. So we're not going to waste any more time. 37-23 could be the finishing score, maybe the extra point, and Tua is going at it. My goodness, Tua, you can chill now. But that's the final score of the game, and we'll move on to the next game. I don't know if we've seen SoFi Stadium in our simulation so far, but you can see the scoreboard right there, pretty obvious. This is SoFi Stadium, but of course, looking at the scoreboard, what matters most is that the Rams get the win at the home. SoFi Stadium, or Chargers home, but it's both their house. 31-17 is the final score of this game, and this is going to end with the Rams punting it, and I guess the Broncos are just going to try, but they're not going to be able to do anything. So 31-17, final score of this game. We're going to move on. That means the Dolphins will play the Rams, and so far the Seahawks will play the Chiefs. Those are our 4 matchups. So let's move on to our next game. I think this is the Ravens and Patriots. I believe this is a rematch from earlier in the season. I do think both these teams played, and I think the Ravens got the win. Well, in this case, 21-16 in simulation. The Ravens up right now. The minute and 21 seconds on the clock. I do think that the Patriots and Cam Newton just got the ball back. So Cam Newton, I don't know if I've seen Cam Newton in the simulations yet, but if so, this might be his biggest moment if he can capitalize to get the win here, down by, I believe, 5 points. So, of course, they need the touchdown, and they're probably around the 25-yard line where they stand, considering the kickoff just happened, and, of course, a minute and 20 on the clock with no timeout. So, no time management, and just going to do all the work on the field with no help in the sidelines calling the timeouts for you. Or, of course, Cam Newton doing that. But here you go, at the 25-yard line is where they stand, so 75 more yards to go. Or, yeah, around that. And then Cam Newton's going to have all the time in the world. He's going to get a gain right here. That's a toe tap to around the 45-yard line. And that's a first down catch right there. Good deliver and good catch. Keep both feet in bounds. And that stops the clock, too. It's exactly what you want. Exactly what you mean by time management with no timeouts. And that's a good gain for about 20 yards. And, of course, getting that out of bounds. Right, you can see right here. Gets all the time in the pocket. Wide open. Toe tap. Does not look like he had both feet down, but that's Madden, so that's just going to happen. And it looks like Bird is in for the 20-yard gain. Time stops, minute 15, new first down and 10, new set of downs, 288 passing yards for Cam Newton. And here we go, lines up again. So now they're around the 45. They're inching closer. They need 5 points to get this win. Well, that is the tie at 6 to win. Touchdown would just win it. And Cam Newton's going to get taken down. The ball goes out. So is this considered a sack? What do they consider? This is going to be considered a sack, so time's going to keep on running. Thought he maybe threw it for a second. It might be a fumble as well. So interesting. But now his time is still ticking. So second down to 16. As you can see, Cam Newton. Let's see. Oh, that's not going to show us. I don't know. It was a really interesting play. Don't really see that happening in Madden. So now down to 50 seconds. Cam Newton has to look to pass this one again. He's going to get a short route. And this is going to fight for around maybe 7 or 8 yards. Time is still ticking right there. That's James White. Third down and 7. Time is still ticking like I said. So they need to watch that clock with a big third down upcoming. So that gets back a few of those yards and a few extra. So now time's still ticking. No huddle yet. There they go. Now they're down to 25 seconds left. Around the 47-yard line. 48 maybe is where they stand. And Cam Newton's going to throw this one midfield. He has a completion up to the 30, up to the 25. They have to get up. They have one more playoff if they can get in and maybe get that play. I wish they could spike it, but they'd never spike it in Madden. So maybe they'll line up and see one more play. If not, that's going to be the game. 5 seconds now, and I believe that's just going to be the game. Yeah, I don't know why. I guess just... Yeah, I don't know why they never can just line up and spike it. It's kind of unrealistic. But that means the Ravens will get a win, considering time management. Once again, it kills you in this game, because the AI did not know how to do that quite yet. So, maybe in Madden 25 or something, they'll learn how to spike the ball. So player of the game, Patrick Queen, 10 tackles and 1 sack. And the Ravens are moving on in this game versus the Patriots. So moving on to our next game. I was really expecting much more. 43-17 is the final score of this game. Tom Brady and the Bucs get this one done versus Carson Wentz and the Eagles. Well, Jalen Hurts should be starting now. Jalen Hurts just got named the starter, actually, matter of fact, today. So, I mean, the Eagles, I didn't see winning this at all. Eagles are number 9 seed. I'm pretty sure the Bucs are number 20 seed. And the Tom Brady and the Bucs, they will move on in this bracket. So let's go. 43-17, big blowout. Let's go. All right, here we are in snowy Chicago. You can see that the Bears are backed way into their own territory. Matter of fact, like the 1-yard line. So Mitch Trubisky is going to snap this into his own end zone. Let's get a completion up to the 20-yard line. It's a 3-point game. They have no timeouts. Mitch Trubisky's had 3 touchdowns and 3 picks. So that's a really interesting stat line. 3-point game. 28-25 is the score. 45 seconds left. There's Cliffsbury and the Cardinals up by 3 points. So, of course, you just got to stop the Bears from getting about 40 yards now to get in field goal range, which should be pretty easy considering they have no timeouts and time is already down to half a minute remaining. So Mitch Trubisky going to look for another pass, and this is going to be off target. Not surprised there. 27 for 53. It's 53 attempts, so 23 successful. Eddie Pinheiro target line is a 37-yard line. So let's see, maybe the Bears can get a miracle and get up there and make it a tie game at 28 and head to overtime. But if not, the Cardinals will hold on and they will move on in this bracket, which I believe they will probably play. I don't know who they play. It might be the winner of the Bucks. No, I believe it is the winner of the Raiders and Giants. Yeah, the Raiders and Giants will play the Cardinals. So that could be a win for any team that comes out of that. And this is going to be thrown to midfield again, once again, a little off target. And that stops the clock again for 3rd down and 10. 54 pass so far for Mitch Trubisky. Well, Mitch Trubisky's going to back up again. He's going to look for this pass. He's going to scramble right and maybe decide to take off for himself. And that's going to get the 1st down. He's still going, though. And he's going to get around 20 yards in that. 7 rushes for 44 yards. Averaging 6.2 a carry, and he's closing in on their own territory now with 15 seconds left. Would not expect them to let Mitch Trubisky run through their defense like that, but apparently he just did. And you can see Kyler Murray just looking at the scoreboard and 82 as well, and shocked that they just let Mitch Trubisky run through him like it's absolutely nothing. Isaiah Simmons, he got passed right there, and then steps out of bounds to stop the clock. Don't even know if he meant to step out of bounds. It could have gone even further, to be honest, if he got the corner. But now 1st down and 10. I don't know where they're at. They're at their own 41-yard line. So, a little bit more to go. 20 yards is what I'd say for field goal range. They're not quite there yet. Let's see. Mitch Trubisky, can he do it? Can he get a pass? This is at the field goal line. And he's going to get taken down however time is going to take down. I don't think the Bears will get up in time. That's a catch by Allen Robinson, who deserves better. And yep, the Chicago Bears will lose this game, considering they just didn't have enough time. So the Bears are out in the 1st round, and the Cardinals are moving on. Not a surprise there. Yeah, I just did not expect the Bears to have a game-winning drive with Mitch Trubisky. I know I'm hating on the Bears a lot. Well, that's because I'm a Packers fan, so sorry. Next game. Let's go. I told you the Giants were down by 20 points in this game. You'd probably call me lying, but I just simulated up to this point, and I thought I was going to go to overtime, but I was like, no, the Giants can actually win this game. And that would amaze me because the Giants were down around 34-10 or 34. I don't know. It was something like that. I think it was like 34-20. But the Giants were on a big deficit and they're now on the comeback. So if they win this game, that'd be crazy. But I was just thinking, like, how are the Giants going to lose to the Raiders but beat the Seahawks in real life? I don't know. That's just how the simulations work out, and that's just how the NFL plays out. It's always random. You don't know who's going to beat who. But now we have a minute left, 7 seconds extra. 2nd down and 6 with Giants ball. 2 times for both teams, tied at 34. At the opposing 24-yard line. So they are close to the red zone. If the 25-yard line is the red zone, actually they're in the red zone. So here comes Daniel Jones, I believe, or that is their backup, which could be Colt McCoy in. And it's going to be a handoff to Saquon Barkley, who's back on the field. Of course, an injury timeout, so a timeout's going to be called by the Raiders. And that's going to stop the clock. So now it's 3rd down and inches, and the Giants are looking to win this game, which is insane. So I'm getting to the point where they kick a field goal or maybe get a touchdown. Let's go. All right, here comes the kick. They wasted all the time off the clock, and this kick is going to be up and good. So the Giants complete the comeback and they win versus the Raiders and their new stadium as well. I want to take a look at the scoreboard real quick so you can see what the comeback was like. I believe it was like 20 points. So 37-34 was the final score. I'm just waiting for the complete scoreboard to pop up. But yeah, the Giants wasted 2 minutes the clock just running it with Saquon Barkley the entire time, able to kick that field goal in. But the 10-yard line is about to stand. So was that the quarterback that played? I can't even pronounce it. I don't even know who it is. I thought Colt McCoy would be playing, but Saquon Barkley was on the field for whatever reason. So here you go. You can see that it was at a point 24-10. And then 20 points scored in the 4th quarter. That's a self-explanatory. for the Giants right there to get the win. So big comeback in our bracket here, and the Giants get a win and moving on to play I think it is the Cardinals. So we're done with the left side of the brackets, and let's go to the right. We'll start with the Texans and Chargers. Let's go. Alright, so our number 1 and our number 2 seed are actually going to lose in this bracket, with the Panthers being number 1 seed, they lose, and the number 2 Texans, they're going to lose to the Chargers. So another upset, but I mean, it could have gone both ways. The Texans could have won this game, but well, I mean, these are both pretty mediocre teams. But the Chargers come out top 38-31. Let's go to our Atlanta versus Detroit. Here is Matthew Stafford from their own territory. Needs about 70 yards for the touchdown to tie it up with the extra point. This is caught in midfield by Hawkinson. Hawkinson makes it up to the 45-yard line. Timeout is called. They're around field goal range, but that's not what they need. They need 6 points here. So the end zone is in dire need right now. Matthew Stafford hits Hawkinson midfield. His 5 reception, 54 yards in the game right now. And we're down to 19 seconds left. The time is now stopped due to Detroit Lions calling that timeout. We've seen Detroit make runs in the final plays of the game earlier this season too, versus Detroit, or versus Chicago. I mean, of course, DeAndre Swift dropped the ball. And yeah, Matthew Stafford's been pretty clutch too in real life. So let's see if they can stand the simulations here at the 50-yard line. Matthew Stafford stands with 4 Falcons rush. He's going to throw this one to the left field. He's got a wide open receiver. Touchdown! Lions tie the game at 20. Galladay gets open, 44-yard touchdown. And that's how the Lions do it. Final plays from Galladay and Stafford, and now extra point away from taking the lead with under 15 seconds left. Galladay just burns his DB. Like, there's just nothing right there. And Galladay makes it in. More like CB, I mean. And there you go. Touchdown Galladay. So easy for Stafford to do that as well. And you love to see it. So this means that if, of course, the Lions kick this extra point in, we're going to see Chargers versus Lions. Okay, of course, timeout called by Dan Quinn right there. He's actually fired, but that's just the simulations. But we're going to see Chargers versus Lions, which is the matchup you would never think you would see going into the Sweet 16. But one team has to come out of it. Chargers or Lions, kind of crazy, but hey, the Lions haven't won yet. I'm just expecting them to win, because you don't miss extra points in the NFL, or rarely at least. And speaking of the extra point, let's see if he can put this in for the lead. Pistons up, and this game is now a Lions lead, 21-20, after the touchdown to Galladay and Stafford connection. And Prater now sends this one up for the 1-point lead. There's still 13 seconds left on the clock, so the Falcons can do something, but we're expecting a miracle if that does happen. So, we'll see if the Falcons can respond with a little bit of time. Alright, so you're Matt Ryan right now. What you want is you want a 40-yard gain to the tip of the sidelines on the feet of a receiver right now, and you just want to get a field goal. That's all you want. But instead, he's going to take a sack, and that means the timeout is going to be called now. With 4 seconds left, defense of the Lions steps up when they need it most, and now it's about a 60-yard gap between field goal range and where the Falcons have the ball at right now. So, with 1 play left, let's see if they can just throw it deep and maybe get a miracle. We've seen some miracles. If you guys remember Saints versus Giants and Rams versus Falcons in the second 32-team bracket, and I would suggest watching the second one. The second one is easy, it's the best, or easily the best, I mean. So here comes Matt Ryan. Let's see. He's going to back up. He's just going to throw this one to midfield, and let's just hope to get some lucky breaks out of it. And nope, can't do it. Calvin Ridley was there, but just couldn't get the ball in time. The Detroit Lions, from the final plays in offense between Galladay and Stafford, win this game and are moving on to play the Chargers. Pretty good game we had there. 21-20 is final score. Let's move to our next matchup. Alright, so the Steelers will beat the hospitalized Niners. No surprise here. They're going to run the clock out with James Conner taking that final handoff. 41-17 is going to be the final score here. As time is just going to expire through the Pittsburgh offense running it out. 41-17. Let's move on. Well, these brackets are full of surprises, and I can definitely say the Saints finally beating the Vikings can be a surprise in my book. And, of course, Taysom Hill starting. There you go. Taysom Hill started for the Saints and got the win over the Minnesota Vikings, which is, the Saints' kryptonite. So, Saints are moving on in this bracket. I believe they'll put the Steelers. Pretty good matchup going into the Sweet 16 so far. So, let's move on to our next games. 42-35 final score. Okay, 31-27 at New Era Field in Buffalo. Not called New Era Field anymore, but that's what I'm used to at least. It's a 4-point game with Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. Of course, no timeouts. Time is running on the clock. We're down to 1 minute and 20 seconds left, and they can't stop it. So they're just going to have to work time management, and hopefully they're going to get up and snap this ball, because they're just going to be wasting all the time that they have right now. Already 20 seconds been wasted, and the Packers defense is just going to stand there in complete mystery and just wait for Bills to line up. And this happens a lot, man, and I'm not surprised. But 4-point game is where we stand. Green Bay has all their timeouts. Aaron Rodgers has probably done the most on the offense, is my guess. And the Packers, which I want to see do good, considering I am a Packers fan. They always suck in these brackets. Let's just see what the Packers have in them this time. So, Josh Allen lines up from the zone 40-yard line. He's going to throw this one deep. He has a giant arm, and he has, oh my goodness, a wide open receiver and touchdown, Stephon Diggs. No doubt about it, nothing but daylight opening for him. No one was even close to him, and the Bills take a lead by 2 points. I don't know how you let him get that open, but my goodness, just like that, the Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen. What? Oh my, burnt Kevin King. And there you go, Stephon Diggs gets up for it. Now, last time we've seen the Bills get something like this, the Cardinals and Kyler Murray happened. So, I'm not going to say anything quite yet, but that means that Aaron Rodgers is coming on the field. I'd be a little concerned, but nothing's possible yet. 34-31 is the score we go into. The Packers getting the ball back with 30 seconds left. What a play, what a connection between Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. 3 for 3, 79 yards and a touchdown. Nice. Alright, Aaron Rodgers lines up around the 24-yard line. So he has about 50 yards to go for a comfortable field goal. And if he wants to go all out, 70 more yards for a touchdown. This is going to go to, I believe, Mercedes Lewis. Timeout's called. It's a 9-yard gain. And there you go. 28 seconds left. Okay, so about a 9-yard gain, second and inches where they stand now. Aaron Rodgers is going to throw another short route. This is another opening to Aaron Jones, and he's going to get right before the midfield mark. Timeout called again. 1 timeout left, 22 seconds left. That's another big gain for the Green Bay Packers as they're now going down the field looking for maybe a tie or maybe even a win. Let's see. All right, here we go. Aaron Rodgers lines up, 46-yard line, 47 more like. And he's going to look for another pass. He's going to get another short round on this one. This one's going into field goal range now. Tied in again. First down and 10. 15 seconds left. It's going to come down to Mason Crosby to drill this field goal. Timeout called. So this looks like they're going to probably go for one more play and maybe get the field goal. We'll see what happens after this. Alright, so just about a yard away from the field goal line, Aaron Rodgers. He's going to look to pass this one. He's going to take out the pocket. And he's going to get taken down. And that's game. That's game already. They don't have a chance to get the field goal. Oh my goodness. That's something Aaron Rodgers would never, ever do in real life right there. And somehow the Bills and Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen strike at the final plays of offense. And they get the win over the Green Bay Packers. How about that? Packers eliminated in the first round once again. And the Bills are moving on as the number 3 seed. Tough luck for the Packers. Good win for the Bills. I believe this final score was 34-31. Alright, a pretty funny matchup here between the Browns and the Washington football team. It's actually a 6-point game, which means Alex Smith, the biggest comeback hero, probably next to Tiger Woods in my opinion, it has to do some work in order to tie this game up with a touchdown and hopefully an extra point to win it. So 29 seconds left, no timeouts. So once again, they're going to hope for a miracle, kind of like the Lions and the Bills just did earlier. And they're going to take this lead with a touchdown. So let's just see what they can do on the opponent's 36-yard line. So they have a little less than 70 yards to go to get a touchdown. And matter of fact, it's 3rd down and 10. So they only have 2 tries at it if they can't make it to the first down marker on this play right here. So here we go. It's actually Dwayne Haskins in the game, which should not be the case. But we're going to let this play out. Maybe Alex Smith got injured again. Let's hope that's not the case because he does not deserve it. But Dwayne Haskins is going to air this one out to a deflection out, almost picked, but that means it's 4th down and 10. Now 24 seconds left in the clock. Dwayne Haskins, I believe. I didn't see it through 2 picks or 1 pick. I don't know. Would definitely put Alex Smith in the game, but I'm not too sure if he's got injured this game or he's just not starting in Madden quite yet. But here we go. Dwayne Haskins, the Washington football team. Washington football team went on a pretty good run last bracket. Can they do it again? They need the first down here to start it, and nope, that one's off. Dwayne Haskins, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, and the Cleveland Browns are going to take over and win this game now. Nothing else to say. Baker Mayfield gets it done versus Washington's defense with Ron Rivera as a new head coach. And the Cleveland Browns are moving on. Next game. Well, if you expected the Jets here to win, I don't really know what to tell you because that was never going to happen in any lifestyle or any life form. 30-17 is the final score of this game with the Cowboys winning it. 2 pretty bad teams matching up, but Cowboys and Dak Prescott, who should not be on the field unless he has a prosthetic leg on, wins this game versus the New York Jets. So they're moving on. Next game, I'm pretty sure it's the final matchup between the Titans and the Bengals, 30-17. Okay, as the final seconds are going to tick down in this game between the Bengals and the Titans will win this by 7 points. 24-17 is the final score. I didn't really expect the Bengals to win anyways, but with that game being finished, we now have every game done for the first round. So going into the Sweet 16, let's take a look at our matchups. We'll start on the left side. We have the Seahawks playing the Chiefs at Seahawks. We have the Dolphins at Rams. We have the Ravens at Bucks. And then we have the Giants at Cardinals. And on the right side, we have the Chargers at Lions. We have the Steelers at Saints. We have the Browns at Bills. And now we have the the Cowboys at Titans. So those are our 16 matchups going into the next round, or actually 8 matchups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, it's 8. So let's go on into the Sweet 16, and let's see who makes the Elite 8. Alright, a pretty good game here for the Sweet 16 first matchup. 28-24 is the score now as Russell Wilson looks for the pass, and he's going to get this one complete midfield. Tyler Lockett, I'm stumbling on my words, and he gets up to the 40-yard line. And there you go, it's a big completion, but as I'm trying to say, trying to get it out fast. 28-24 is the score, 6 timeouts to the board, 3 per team, and down to a minute and 40 seconds left on the clock. And they're in field goal range, but they need a touchdown to get this going their way and take a lead. As you can see, Tyler Lockett got open to midfield. No huddle is called, so still 3 timeouts on the board. And they're around the 40-yard line. It's exactly around your opponent's 40-yard line. Here comes a jump ball, and that's a touchdown wide open. 2. Is that more? I think that's more, isn't it? I'm not too sure. It's a 40-yard touchdown. The Seahawks take the lead late in the fourth quarter, and that's actually Dorsett. Don't remember him, but yeah, there you go. 30-28 is the score now, as Patrick Mahomes is not having it right there. But you can see this is happening a lot right now. Just some lob balls right now and wide open receivers. Pretty easy. Burning their defensive backs, and that's it, or cornerbacks, and easy way to walk into the end zone. So Seahawks take the lead, 30-28. Extra point should be good, and we'll get the Chiefs to see what if Patrick Mahomes can do anything. It's a 3-point game for Patrick Mahomes, and they need around 30 to 40 yards is what I would say for a field goal. And this is going to be a short route, but a good open field tackle by the defense right there, number 22, and that stops at the 30-yard line for a 6-yard pickup. And Patrick Mahomes getting run over by his O-line right there. Allowed 400 passing yards from Patrick Mahomes, and Sammy Watkins gets tackled midfield. So time is still ticking, no timeouts called yet, and they go into no huddle with a little over a minute left. And Patrick Mahomes go deep on this one, or he's going to look for another short route, and he's going to scramble up and get this pass off. That's what he's good off, is making the moves. And now we have a flag, so let's see, that stops the clock, and this one's going to be a face mask penalty on the defense, so that moves him up 15 yards, and now even inching closer to a field goal range is the Kansas City Chiefs. We've seen this before. The Packers failed, considering Aaron Rodgers got sacked in one of the final plays of the game. And now, with 6 timeouts on the board still, 30 per team, Patrick Mahomes might be able to work something here for not only a win, or not only a field goal, maybe a win. So let's see, after the time stops, we're down to 61 seconds on the clock. First down and 10, new downs. Fresh set of new territory at the 43-yard line, opposing 43-yard line. So they need about 20 more yards, I'd say, for field goal range, 100% field goal range. But yeah, I mean, of course you can kick a field goal from here, but don't know if you're going to make it. Motions his back, and he's going to throw this one to midfield. That's open to the 15-yard line, to the 10. Tyreek Hill, 53 seconds left. And that time is still wasting now. First down and 10 for the Kansas City Chiefs. We have a shootout going on right now in the final 2 minutes of this game, as Seattle striked with their reception and the touchdown to Dorsett. And now Tyreek Hill finds the open field route, and Patrick Mahomes delivers. So now we're around the 10-yard line. The 11-yard line is already standing. Patrick Mahomes has time. Travis Kelce goes to the left. He's going to hit Travis Kelce, and Travis Kelce refuses to go down until 2 more comes at him. So a timeout's now called. They get about a 5-6-yard gain out of that, and 26 seconds left. So Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are only a few yards away from taking the lead once again. Okay, at the 3-yard line. Can they do it? Patrick Mahomes hands it off, and that's going to be tackled. And they're going to call a timeout, and looks like the Seattle Seahawks might forced a field goal. Yeah, it's going to be 31-31. So they're kicking units out, and we're going to go to overtime. So what probably could have been the end of the game, the Chiefs just couldn't get 3 yards. The Seattle Seahawks defense steps up when it matters most. As you can see, Patrick Mahomes is out there, but of course he's definitely not going to snap the ball. Yep, here comes the kick. This is the tie of the game right here. And nope, we have a timeout. All right, the big kick from Harrison Butker. Let's see if he can put this one through to go into overtime, more than likely. And yeah, that's the 31-all game, so that means we have overtime here in Seattle between a really good game we've seen so far. We've only seen 2 minutes, and we can tell it's been a great game. So we're going in overtime. Let's see who can come out of that. Alright, so I've let overtime play out, and how about this? On the second possession, so the Seahawks, all they do is score and they win. They're on the opponent's 17-yard line, so the Seattle Seahawks might come out here to the upset, and that's if they throw it to DK Metcalf and get the 11-yard pickup. That almost was a touchdown to win it. I honestly thought it was a pick for a second. I was looking at it, kind of scary, but that's going to waste some time now, which is not really needed considering you're at first down and goal, and all you got to do is just get 3 points up and you win. So Seattle Seahawks Of course, you know, the Kansas City Chiefs were number 32 seed coming into this, so they had to play on the road every game they played, no matter what. So that's a big disadvantage. But the Seattle Seahawks have come out of this more than likely with a win, and that's going to be a broken tackle in for the touchdown. The Seattle Seahawks do it, and they're moving on to the Elite Eight. And what a way to do it! What a game, back and forth game, and the Seattle Seahawks end up doing it in overtime with the final score 37-31. I don't know how they got there, but hey, they ended up getting there in the first place, so it works out. Seahawks moving on, 37-31. Really good game we had there. Alright, the LA Rams, in their all blue new uniforms, they will beat the Dolphins. The score was 23-17. The Dolphins were a pretty good team with Ryan Fitzpatrick starting the simulations. Of course, it should be Tua, but the Rams will come out top of this one with a pretty good defense they have in simulations and in real life, so they will move on to play their division rival, the Seahawks, in the Elite Eight. So let's move on in our bracket. Alright, and who doesn't love final minute drives from Tom Brady himself, this time on the Buccaneers versus the Ravens. 4-point game, and a touchdown won't cut it. This is a quick pass to midfield to Gronk, and they now inch their way into the opponent's territory, calling a timeout. 24 seconds left, 500 total yards in offense for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Alright, so standing around the 50.5-yard line is where they're at. And Tom Brady's going to stand around the 45, and he's going to back up an extra yard. Look for this pass. He has good protection. This is going to be to the sideline. That's a catch right there, and that's an out-of-bounds catch, too. So that stops the clock. Good find and good catch. 460 yards in the day for Tom Brady with only one touchdown. So he's been getting the yards he needs, finishing it with the run game. And there you can see an open receiver gets out of bounds, and I believe that is Miller. Good catch, and stops the clock. So Tom Brady has some extra time on his hands to work with a first down and 10, new set, fresh downs. 36-yard line, the opposing territory is where they stand, and they line up again. 18 seconds left on the clock. Touchdown is needed. Field goal will not cut it, and they stand 36-yard line. Tom Brady, no one in the pocket with them. He's going to throw this one quick, and that's a completion to Gronk. Gronk has nothing but daylight. Touchdown! Gronkowski. The classic connection with Tom Brady and Gronk. And once again, we have a final minute lead change for like the fourth or fifth time. This bracket has been nothing but madness. And there you can see Tom Brady finds a connection to Gronk. Gets open at the 20 and breaks free towards the 10 and towards the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. 30-28 game. It'll be a 3-point game. We'll see if the Ravens can do anything with the 13 seconds they have on the clock. Extra point. It's about to be up. An extra point will be nothing else but good. Ravens, get the ball back. 3-point game. Alright, so let's see if Lamar Jackson can do anything for the Ravens. He's going to back up pretty far, and this is probably going to be the final play of the game. No, he's going to throw this one out, which means they're going to have another chance at it. I don't even know why it's showing the field goal kicker Justin Tucker, because they're not going to do anything with him. We're just going to see a lob ball and see if the Ravens can get some of that luck we've seen from the old 32-team bracket videos. So far, we've had a pretty good video so far with the games we've seen. I mean, if you're not watching up here, if you're actually watching all the way through and you've gotten bored, I'd be kind of surprised, because I've actually had some fun watching some of these crazy endings so far we've had, going into overtime and just going to final second drive. So here's Lamar Jackson to scramble all the way, and yeah, that's the smartest thing you should do, Lamar Jackson, when you're down by 3 and 5 seconds left. Lamar Jackson takes off and loses it for the Ravens. Well, not really, but we're just going to call it that, because that's all we saw of Lamar Jackson. But how about Tom Brady and Gronk? The connection gets them the win, 31-28, and they're moving on to the Elite Eight to play the winner between, if I'm not wrong, it is the Cardinals and Giants. So let's see who wins that game. Let's go. And once again, in the opposing 23-yard line, the Cardinals, all they need is a field goal. We're going to see another final minute lead change, is my guess. That's, of course, the Cardinals can hold on versus the New York Giants. 25-24, minute 20 on the clock. These games have just been crazy. They've been coming down the wire every single time. There's no breaks. There's no blowouts. We've seen like maybe one blowout this bracket, and that's it. So these games are really close. So I can definitely say the randomized spinner wheel has definitely treated us right. But however, it did make me make a longer video, which I don't like making the videos that long. But I mean, that's just what's going to happen when we have games that go up to 4 to 5 minutes each. So let's just see if the Cardinals can close this one out. They'll probably run the ball in, and then we'll see a field goal. So let's just see what they decide to do. And if they decide to run the ball out, I will get to the field goal. Let's see. Hand it off. And yep, that's going to be a run game. Timeout's called, and I'll get to you when the field goal or a touchdown happens. And how about that? Kyler Murray just works his way through the defense like it's just a puzzle. And there you go. Cardinals will take the lead with little under 20 seconds left. Flap your wings. 30-25 is the final score, or not the final score quite yet, but that's the score where we stand. And another lead change in the final minute. As you see, Kyler Murray just works his way and just finds his way in, a little stutters, and makes his way across the end zone. So, Cardinals will give the ball back to the Giants for a little under 20 seconds. And yeah, the Cardinals decided to eat up as much clock as possible, which was smart. And now let's see if the Giants can miraculously do anything as well. We've seen miracles already. Let's see if you can see it again. Daniel Jones just has 15 seconds just to throw it up, and let's see if he can do exactly what I just said. So he's just going to throw this one up with 10 seconds, and this one's going to be picked off, and the Cardinals are going to do it. Cardinals also went for 2 points and ended up getting it, so that's how the score is 32-25, and that'll be the final score of this game. Cardinals are moving on to play the Buccaneers. What a weird series of events we've had in the final, or the most recent games we've had, but hey. We got our winners, and we're moving on. Alright, and I expected this game to be close between the Chargers and the Lions. I just didn't expect who would come out of it. And I was thinking the Lions, but as the look of things, on the opposing 28-yard line, Justin Herbert stands with the Chargers, and all they need is a field goal to win it. So we might see another game-winning score. That's if they can get up and snap the ball already. Now, I don't know if Justin Herbert's starting in this because, of course, Tyrod Taylor was listed to start at the beginning of the season. And I don't know if my Madden is updated on the roster-wise, because we've seen some weird stuff. You know, we've seen Dwayne Haskins starting over Alex Smith. So let's just see. As you can see, yeah, Tyrod Taylor does start for the Chargers. So I wish I can change that. I'll try to change that for the next time, or next go-around we do this. And that's Eckler, who's going to get the handoff, and that's going to be all the way up to the 15-yard line. So just to make more comfortable field goal, I guess. 15 attempts, 68 yards, and an average 4.5 for Eckler. And that's going to be a timeout soon. And here comes the kick for Badgley. Can they send him to the Elite Eight? Kick is up, time runs out, and the kick is good. The Chargers are moving on to the Elite Eight, and they upset, in my opinion. They beat the Lions, and I would call it an upset, because I expect the Lions to move on from this one. The Lions, who had a really good game one, they get stumped here by the Chargers with Tyrod Taylor starting, so the Chargers are moving on to the Elite Eight. Pretty funny. They're going to play the winner of Steelers and Saints, which I believe they'll probably get killed, but hey, anything can happen. 32-team bracket. Next game, Steelers, Saints, let's go. Alright, so a good game here between Pittsburgh Steelers and the New Orleans Saints. 37-all. Keep in mind that Taysom Hill is starting for his quarterback, and he's going to throw... No, almost threw a pick right there. It was in midfield, but no one could get to it. As I was saying, Taysom Hill is starting quarterback. Will Lutz right there. Target line, 42-yard line. Tied at 37. Gotta say, Pittsburgh, in order to put 37 points on their defense, is something different. I mean, I just gotta say, pretty good for Taysom Hill in a simulation. I know it's kind of crazy, but I mean, I don't think you'd expect this from a performance in real life. Maybe the Saints would keep up. I don't know. This would be a pretty good matchup. Maybe if Drew Brees is healthy. Hey, it's a possible Super Bowl matchup. Don't count out the Saints and the Steelers in the Super Bowl. That'd be a pretty good matchup, in my opinion. 11 seconds left. They have to get a few more yards, and Taysom Hill is going to go deep for this one. Does he have a receiver open? Once again, Michael Thomas reaches open. Touchdown, Saints. Michael Thomas finds his way open once again, and receivers are getting through everything. I don't know what's going on today, but today it's just easy for receivers just to burn the cornerbacks and get loose. Taysom Hill puts this perfectly too. And Michael Thomas is nothing but open. And that's how you put up 40-plus points in the Steelers' defense. And Taysom Hill is more than likely moving on to the Elite Eight to play the Chargers. Saints versus Chargers, Elite Eight matchup. How about that? We have 5 seconds left, so the kick this extra point should be 44-37. Pretty high-scoring game here. And games which I would expect to be more defense-sided, because both these teams have really good defenses. So let's just see if the Saints or the Steelers can do anything with the 5 ticks on the clock. Okay, well, Ben Roethlisberger has 1 second on the clock. So one more play just to throw it deep. Let's see if the Steelers can get a miracle. And he's going to throw this one quick. And that's going to be an inbound tackle for the Saints. And the New Orleans Saints do it. Taysom Hill connects with Michael Thomas with 5 seconds left in the game. And that's how the Saints win and move into the Elite Eight, knocking down the 11-1 Steelers, 44-37. Another good game we've had here. Let's move. And this might just be the craziest one we've seen all day. I could have seen the Browns winning, but 42-7 is just something else. Browns beat the Bills, the number 3 seeded Bills. And I believe the Browns, what are they? Number 16, number 17 seed? I don't know. They're up there, somewhere in that range. Put up 42 points and left the Bills to 7. 42-7 is the final score. I don't know what Baker Mayfield was on. Feeling dangerous, I guess. He woke up feeling dangerous, and that gives him the win, 42-7. So the Browns are moving on to the Elite Eight. How about that? Browns and Chargers in the Elite Eight? What are we living? And no surprise here, I expected the Titans to come out of the win here versus Dallas, the number 6 seeded Tennessee Titans are moving on, winning 31-21. And with that game, we are now finished with a Sweet 16. So we have our final 8 teams, otherwise known as the Elite 8. And we have some surprises, and we have some welcome ones too. Let's start with our first matchup. We have the Seahawks at Rams. Then we have the Bucks, or the Cardinals at Bucks. Then we have the Chargers at Saints. And now finally we have the Titans and the Browns, with the Browns visiting at the Titans. So those are our final 8 teams: Seahawks, Rams, Bucks, Cardinals, Chargers, Saints, and Browns, Titans. Let's get into our first game. Seahawks, Rams. Good divisional matchup. Let's go. And we come back to SoFi Stadium in our first game of the Elite 8 between the division rivals Seattle Seahawks and the LA Rams. 31-30 is the final score, or the current score right now. 1 point difference, which means the Rams, they can take any points, field goal, touchdown, anything they want. They just got to manage the time well, and they got to drive down the field. They take this ball from the 25-yard line after having a touchback from the Seattle Seahawks, scoring a touchdown and kicking it off to them. So now they got to go at least 50 yards and get themselves some points on the board to possibly take a win or take the lead. We'll see what happens. Jared Goff, own 25-yard line, looking for the pass in the first play of the drive. He's going to throw this one deep, and that's going to be, oh, that looks like a flag though. Probably some pass interference. And that's pass interference on defense. That is huge. That is going to move the Rams up high. As you can see, there was some contact. And now Shaquille Griffin with the contact. So that's a 28-yard penalty. New set of downs. Now on the 47-yard line with 1:06. So that's big for the Rams, considering they're really inching closer to field goal range now. Alright, so they stand the 47-yard line of opposing territory. So Jared Goff's going to look to pass this one again. He's going to back up. He's going to throw this one now for a wide open receiver. This one's good up to around the 28-yard line. That's a timeout called. Rams are driving down the field. Timeout, Seattle. That was Reynolds who came up with the catch right there. A big catch, too. This is going to be a quick pass to Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp's going to get the first down. He's going to get a block, and Cooper Kupp is going to make his way to the 3-yard line. Trying to dive in for the pylon. They can't quite make it, but that's the first down and goal for the Rams. And the Rams are in business to take a 6-point lead. At most, 7 or 8. Alright, Jared Goff lines under the center. We have a back. Hands it off. And he's going to walk in like it's nothing. And that's a touchdown from the LA Rams. 36-31 game right now as we stand. They gave 50 seconds to Russell Wilson to do something. They did score pretty fast. So let's see. Henderson Jr. getting that touchdown. Walking that one in like it's nothing. And that's a 5-point game. Extra point soon. And we'll see if the Seahawks can respond. Let's see if Seahawks can get this ball downfield with the pass this time instead of Russell trying to scramble. And they will try to pass this time. And this will be knocked out of the defense of the Rams. And there you go. It's the 4th down and 5 now. It stops the clock. 17 seconds left. Big defensive play right there. And now you're forced to 4th down in their own territory at the 26-yard line. So let's see if the Rams can make one more stop and head to the Final Four once again. And the Rams, they're pretty used to this area. They've been here before. I'm pretty sure they've won it all before. So let's see if the Rams can get back to where they used to be. Seattle Seahawks and Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson backs up, throws it deep. Is a receiver out there, throws it into pile. It's no good, and the Rams take over. Seahawks fall to the Rams in SoFi Stadium. And the Rams are moving on to the Final Four. First team to make it a Final Four. Put the winner of Cardinals and Bucks. We'll end here. Let's get to the next game. And to be honest, I did not expect this. I did expect the Bucks probably getting the win here. But let's talk about the performance of Tom Brady real quick. 371 yards and 5 touchdowns and 1 pick, 65% completion rate. And how about this final score, though? The game ended with a score of 48-10. Yeah, so the Cardinals, I don't know why, just didn't put up a fight. Buccaneers put up 24 points right before halftime. And the Buccaneers deserve this win. They make their way to the Final Four once again. I'm pretty sure they've been here before. At least Tom Brady has. So the Rams and Bucks will meet in the Final Four with their matchup. So we have 2 more matchups to do on the other side of the bracket. So let's get them done real quick, and then we'll start the final. And no surprise here, once again, Taysom Hill is on a roll, and they beat the Chargers here at 34-17. The Chargers made a good run. They're the number 31 seed, which means they wouldn't have played a single home game, even if they made it as far as the Super Bowl. But I didn't expect them to make it this far in the first point, to be honest. I thought they'd lose in the first round. But the Saints are moving on now after playing I'm pretty sure they played the Steelers and the Chargers. Don't remember if they played first round, or the Falcons. And I think that is the Saints. Yeah, the Saints are making the Final Four. So I don't remember who they play, but let's get our final matchup. I'm pretty sure it's Browns and Titans. So we would see a Saints versus Browns or Titans. Let's get to that now. Okay, so let's talk about the Browns real quick, who come into Tennessee and they beat them. The Browns have not played a single home game, and they're not going to play a home game this entire bracket because they're going to New Orleans after this. They're going to take one more knee and win this. The Browns beat Washington, Bills, and Titans all on the road, and they now have to do the final job and have to go to the Saints and beat them somehow. So we have our top 4 teams now. We have the Rams and the Bucks. That game is going to be at LA, and now we have, as I said, the Saints and the Browns. This game will be at the Saints. So, final snap from Baker Mayfield, and the Browns will walk into Tennessee, and they'll get this one done once again, 31-30, just like in real life, except a little bit closer. And the Browns somehow have made it to the Final Four. 2 more matchups for the Super Bowl. Let's go. Well, the LA Rams are heading to the Super Bowl. I just missed it, but an overtime win for the Rams. They kicked a field goal. I don't know if you wanted to see that as much as I did, but anyways, the Rams won this one 24-21 in overtime in a low-scoring game, and the Rams get it done. So Rams are going to their second ever 32-team Super Bowl, I believe. I'm pretty sure this is their second. And it's time for our other matchup between the Saints and the Browns. So who will meet the Rams again? Will it be the Saints, the team that they don't want to meet, the team that has some bad history, or will it be the Browns, which has absolutely no history with the Rams? At least I hope. Anyways, so as you can see, the Saints currently have the lead right now, 28-25. You might think this game is over. However, it's a 3rd down and 2. So the Browns just have to stop the Saints. Time is going to tick. You'll probably get about 10 seconds left on offense. But hey, anything can happen. But if the Saints get this first down, don't got to worry about any of that. And the Saints are moving on to our 32-team randomized Super Bowl, which I believe is the 7th edition. And in that case, Taysom Hill wearing number 7, making it to the 7th edition Super Bowl. It seems like it's meant to be. It's meant to happen because both these teams right here have had pretty good runs. Oh, they're actually going to take the knee, which is smart. You know, they're in their territory. You don't have to go for the first down here. I mean, you're going to be 4th down, which means you're going to punt. Yeah, and then that's fair. But both these teams have pretty good stories with, of course, the Saints with Taysom Hill the entire time. I mean, he's been a pretty good quarterback through this series. Of course, it's the Saints. They're going to be good no matter what. Who's at quarterback? They're always like that. And then the Browns, who have had home games or away games the entire series and they haven't lost yet, and they'll lose this one. But they've won every away game. So both pretty impressive teams in this bracket, I got to say. And they're going to take a field goal shot from around the 40, which would make a 50-yard field goal. For Will Lutz, let's see if he can kick this one up with about 15 seconds on the clock. Kick is up. Will Lutz is looks like this is gonna miss. It's gonna be short. So that means the Cleveland Browns are gonna get the ball around the 40-yard line and only need 20 with 11 seconds to maybe go to overtime with the kick. So I don't think that was the smartest thing to do by the Saints. That's why I was saying you should probably just run the ball and then maybe take a punt, maybe try to pin them. That's the last thing you want to do. So let's see if Baker Mayfield has some magic in him. We've seen it once in this series, or in this video, or at least through the games he's played. He's done really good. Can we see him do it with maybe a Hail Mary or maybe a 10 to 15 yard connection? That's what we need to. Mainly to the 40 is what you're aiming for. Let's see if Baker Mayfield can do it. First down and 10, their own 47-yard line. 3-point game. Scrambles to his right. Throws on the run. This one pops up. This one's almost picked. That gives the Saints on defense, or gives the Browns another chance. Keeps the Saints on defense. Should have been picked. Cody Parkey's targets the 39-yard line. So this game got a lot closer than I imagined it being. I thought it was just going to be one run. It's over. Saints to the Super Bowl. But now the Browns decide, or the Saints decide to kick a field goal and the Browns get it back. So Browns now in 6 seconds. So you have a chance for one more play, which I believe they're just going to throw it up. And that looks like what they're most likely going to do here, with Baker Mayfield needing a little over 50 yards. Let's see. Probably last play of the game, and Baker Mayfield's going to throw this one, and this is going to be up for grabs, and no, it bumps up a helmet. I thought he had. I thought People Jones had it for a second, and that's game. The Saints are going to the Super Bowl to play the LA Rams. The Browns, what a good story, but Saints is meant to be for Taysom Hill to make it here. 28-25, final score. Super Bowl, Rams, Saints, final game. And I hate to put it this way, I wish we could have seen a fun Super Bowl, but the Rams, hey, they might have had some fun on the simulation because they get another one in the 32-team bracket series. Rams win it 27-21 over Sean Payton and the New Orleans Saints. Taysom Hill can completely finish the job, and the Rams, who did really good this entire bracket, gets their second 32-team bracket victory, winning the second and now the 7th. So, LA Rams do it again. And that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. This one was a fun one with a lot of good matches in it. The Super Bowl was alright. I was expecting for a fun Super Bowl or some fun conference games, but some good matches in this entire bracket. And that ends this one, the 7th randomized spinner wheel. So if you guys got any more ideas for the 32-team bracket in the future, to let me know. 309 yards, 1 touchdown the day for Jared Goff in the Super Bowl. Here's the bracket on the screen now. Rams, your champions, and I'll see you